What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we are catching up on some movies. Like I watched the Spider-Man Brand New Day, the Avatar Aang movie. Recently went through and watched, shoot, what's that show? Lioness, and of course, some back to school stuff. Uh, Hope everybody out there is doing well as always. If this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Daddy's to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, TV shows, movies, and of course, some video games. Man, it has been, I think, a couple of weeks since I did a regular podcast episode. I think. Let me look at my page real quick. Yeah. Yep. A few weeks ago, I talked about the Odyssey and all the traveling we did in summer anime stuff. So like I said, we are back in full swing. School has already started. And overall, it went good. Had to do a lot of groundwork and preparation and, you know, everything in between. But, they survived the first few days of school. I now have three 11th graders, one 8th grader, and one 3rd grader. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. Like I've talked about before, like this next year and a half, gonna be a gauntlet to get through. Like I said, just with the older three inching ever closer to graduation, and of course that starts to include all the potential college prep and you know uh, recruit stuff for the athletes and all the different stuff in between with that. So excited but nervous because, like I said, it's just a lot to take in. One of my nieces, my sister's youngest daughter, she's about to head off to college in a few days, which is also kind of crazy. I'm excited for her and her next journey in life and stuff. But yeah. So like I said, school is back in order, and so when I talked with everybody, as I typically do, have like a family dad talking to the kids as far as like preparation and expectations for this upcoming school year. One of the a couple of big things was just organization, preparation. Doing and getting ready the things you need to have ready. Also, kind of clarifying the definition of I'm ready to go, because I had to talk to some of my kids, because some of them were bad about when they be like, hey, I'm ready to go, or we're ready. That to me, that is, hey, when I'm walking out the door, you should be right behind me. Not, let me put on my shoes real quick, or oh, I see you running in the kitchen real quick to try to put some ice and water in your water bottle and stuff. Is like, no. Like, do not come and tell me I am ready unless everything is solidified and ready to go. So like I said, just that, everybody being a little bit more aware of their own schedules and stuff. I told them, I'm like, hey, all of y'all have devices, phones, tablets, something. So set your alarms accordingly. You know what days you have. You got to be at school early for this and that, or you staying late for practices, tutoring, band, whatever the case may be, whatever. Hey, know your schedule, whatever, and prepare accordingly. And along those lines, kind of setting more boundaries for myself with them, as far as being like, hey, the older ones, like, hey, 9 o'clock, you gotta be home. If you're out with any friends or whatever, 9 o'clock is the time. My middle son, 8 o'clock, if he gets to go anywhere, he gotta he gotta earn his a little bit harder, because first day of school, morning, he running around, couldn't find his band binder. He found it, but then left the house, worried about trying to catch up and walk with his friends and hanging out before school, and forgot his trombone. So my wife had to go drop it off, and then middle of the day, he called because he forgot his clothes for athletics. So I had to go up there about 1, 2 p.m., drop off his athletic clothes. I'm like, hey, man, you hitting 2.5 strikes day one. And we just had to talk about this. So, just kind of, having to try to drill this into their heads as much as possible. Like, hey, y'all got to be on top of this stuff. Um, and one thing I did this year, I think I might have did last year, maybe, but I know going forward, and I encourage this to other parents out there, if you're able to use that PTO on the first day of school. Because I took off first day of school, like I worked a half a day the day before and then took off first day of school. Just because it's like give yourself that buffer, that cushion for any potential things going on or whatever. And then also just hey, you can just stay home, celebrate having everybody at the house and resting. And honestly, if I'm able to going forward, I'm gonna take, if not the whole week, at least multiple days off, probably going forward if I'm able to. Just because it's like it was like yeah, I needed to rest and recover that first day. But back to my guidelines and stuff like I said, like certain times for them to be home. Hey, by a certain time, chores and stuff done. Little dude done bath and stuff and turned in any device he might have, a tablet or whatever that comes to my room before it's too late. Get him settled down a little bit early, and then 10 o'clock is my time. Like, hey, once it hits 10 o'clock, I ain't running to the store no more unless it is a dire emergency or for something or whatever. After 10 o'clock, eh, that is it is dad's time, and that is some boundaries I've had to learn because y'all know my schedule and stuff. We have pretty late nights, pretty long days, and everything in between. To where I was like, yeah, if I'm going to survive what is to come in the coming couple of years, then I gotta have at least a moment, a little bit of time, whether it be just for me to just, hey, unwind, watch some shows, play some games, read some manga, whatever I want to do, just chill for a little bit before I go to bed because I hate, getting up super early, getting everybody dropped off to school that need to go, my long commute to work, working all day, long commute home, picking up people, going here and there, whatever, running errands and stuff, whatever. And then it's late at night and I'm still in my work clothes and it's like, well, guess I'm just gonna go to bed and do it all over again. It's like, no, I need to, like I said, have some boundaries with them and myself, and be willing to say no to more stuff. Be willing to, I kind of talk to them, now that they're older about just like, hey, like obviously do what I need to do as a dad, but also it's like them also understanding that hey, me and mommy are people just like y'all. So it's like just because you call and say, hey, I'm ready to be picked up from this and that, depending on what it is, obviously, but there might be sometimes, okay, well, cool, I'm on my way. I'll be there when I get there, whatever. Don't blow up my phone a million times. If you've already told me you're ready and I've already said I'm already on my way or whatever, then chill. Stop blowing up my phone. Stop blowing up my phone. Just respect that. Hey, we got stuff to do. If you ask last minute, oh, I need to go here and there, whatever. Like, well, sorry, I got plans or I got stuff I need to take care of, whatever, too. So yeah, so like I said, just trying to set those expectations for them accordingly. And so far, like first week, whatever, things have been good. Like I said, for the most part, things have been done within the parameters that I set. They needed some stuff, for Friday or whatever, I think, school wise, and they asked me, before it got too late, before my cutoff time, and I was able to run to the store and get them the extra little supplies and different little things. that they needed or whatever, and it was all good. So, but yeah, so we made it through the first week of school, and we're about to on to the to week two. Um, yeah, so other couple little fun things I want to kind of start segueing into um talking about some of this stuff. So I guess I'll start talking about with some game related stuff first. So new, or let me see, let me transition and try professional podcasting. So, couple of gaming related things I wanted to talk about and touch on real quick. So, game wise, I haven't really played a whole lot, but I did pick up Splatoon Raiders last week or a couple weeks ago now, I think. So Splatoon has always been a series that I've admired from far, but I've talked about before, like I'm not much of a online multiplayer person nowadays. And so, I've played like some like demos whenever they did like free weekends and stuff for the past Splatoon games, whatever. Had some fun, but it was nothing that I ever went out of the way of buying. So as I was kind of looking at Splatoon Raiders, it's like, okay, it's a single player game. It's kind of more of like a looter shooter uh, type of game. Kind of fits the parameters of kind of like a Borderlands esque game where you're going into different locations, different self-contained locations, just fighting waves of enemies and stuff, whatever, and getting new weapons and gear and stuff, whatever, like that, and upgrading your stuff and going back to your base and upgrading your stuff and going out to the next location and stuff. So so first of all, when it got announced last year, I was like, that looks interesting. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. And then as it, finally came out, reviews was looking good for it. And I was like, man, this might be something fun. So, you can be played by yourself, or you can play it co-op with your friends, or you can basically put out a online call to matchmake with people whenever they come in and help you out or whatever. And so I've put a handful of hours into it, and it's been just nice, bite-sized fun, which is what I always need, especially it being on my Switch too. I can take it with me, and honestly, like some of the levels, whatever, you'll get through in less than 5 minutes, whatever. Like you get deployed into the location, fight a few waves of enemies, or whatever. Sometimes it's like you got to beat all the enemies within a certain time frame, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. And yeah, so it's nothing too crazy to it, but like I said, it's been like a nice palate cleanser for me. Though I haven't played it this past week just because everything went back to school, been so busy. But it, when I was on it or whatever, it was a nice um, overall fun thing to play and to experience. So yeah, so like I said, just want to put that on y'all's radar. Uh, so I think it was like $50, whatever. Didn't have to pay out of pocket. I still had some of my little work rewards points things that I was able to cash in and spend on the game and stuff. So, but yeah, so Splatoon Raiders, pretty fun. All right, next one thing I kind of want to shout out, or not necessarily shout out. I'm trying to think. What was it? Oh, gaming news wise. So at the end of the month, Rockstar announced that they are going to be doing a GTA 6 extended look on Netflix. So this will probably be what we traditionally get anytime before, Red Dead came out or any of the past Grand Theft Auto games and stuff, where it's the voiceover of "Welcome to Grand Theft Auto," and it's like several minutes long, deep dive into the game and the structure and different things like that or whatever. And but yeah, so it's going to be exclusive to Netflix for 6 hours. So it's going to come out, I think it was the 27th, I believe. What's the date or something like that? 27, 28. So yeah, it'll be on Netflix middle of the day, and then by that night, it'll be up on the Rockstar YouTube page and all that stuff. So yeah, so honestly, like I don't. I don't really see it as too big of a deal. Yes, it's annoying, but one, I already have Netflix. Like I've talked before, like with all these kids and all these people in my family and stuff, whatever. I have most uh subscription stuff in rotation. I used to have everything all the time, but when I kind of looked at it like some like earlier this year, whatever, I kind of started rotating through stuff, whatever. Where I'll kind of rotate between, having Netflix for a while and then Disney Plus and Apple TV, etc., etc. So yeah, so I got Netflix right now, whatever. So it's no biggie for me. And honestly, for me, it it's not surprising just because of the fact of like Netflix has been expanding different stuff that they've been doing over the last couple of years, like them doing some NFL games, them doing WWE and other live events and different stuff like that or whatever in recent years. So I just see this as a extension of that. And honestly, it's also like the same thing of like what's it called, like Comic Con, where people at Comic Con get to see this trailer early before anybody else, or whatever, or Games Press got to go behind closed doors or got to play, a hands-on demo at an event or whatever. It's like, and then hey, the demo will be released to everybody else in a couple of weeks or whatever the case may be. Like I kind of put it in that bucket of there's always been exclusivity or stuff that is behind a paywall or access, whether it be literal like a streaming service or just hey, you got to be at this event to see this thing first, or whatever, and everybody else will get to see it, you know, later that day or in the coming weeks, months, whatever the case may be. So yeah, so I'm not. It's whatever to me, to be honest. But yeah, so that's coming up soon. And next thing I'm gonna talk on, I'm gonna get a little bit more details, because it'll kind of segue into something else. So D23 was this past week, or actually yesterday, and so at that event, they did touch on where is my stuff at? I know I had tweeted it out. Um, but anywho, so they showed a lot more of Kingdom Hearts 4, and they said guaranteed it will be out uh fall 2027, and they reiterated it a few times, whatever, that yes, it is coming out fall 2027. So, and they showed new gameplay and stuff. They announced that the movie Coco, there's going to be a Coco world, inspired world within the Kingdom Hearts 4. They showed Mickey, Goofy, and Donald as playable characters and stuff in the game. So yeah, so lots of cool and exciting stuff on that front for you Kingdom Hearts fans. I've talked about it before. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. I've always admired it from afar or whatever, but I've never actually fully played through any of the games myself. So, but yeah, so that's coming up. They also announced a Kingdom Hearts anime that they don't have any time frame or anything on it, but they just put up a key visual for it. But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts anime in the works. So let me see. What do I want to transition to next? All right, I guess I want to dip into some movie related stuff. So, uh, tickets for Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, uh, went on sale. I guess like the more general tickets went on sale the other day. So, right in the hours leading up to it, for everybody else, whatever, I was looking at, because they've already had tickets for like Dolby and stuff, whatever, on sale for a while. So I was looking at opening night and at a couple of my preferred theater locations, whatever. And I'm like, man, these suckers are filled up. And of course, so opening night Thursday, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do a Friday. But I'm like, well, no. Friday, basketball for the kids. So if I don't do it Thursday, it probably wouldn't be until, sometime over the weekend. I'm like, yeah, I need to get in that thing as early as possible. And so I'm looking around, and so there was like a 8 o'clock showing, um, in one of the few decent seats left, and I'm looking at it or whatever. Now I had to I had to make a sacrifice and a business call because I was already locked in, and so my wife heard me talking about it. Or whatever. She was like, "Ooh, get 2 tickets," and so now I'm like, "Well, this has greatly complicated things because typically I'm a solo movie guy, and so that's why most of the time I'm never in a rush to have to get tickets weeks or months in advance because hey, it's just me. I can 9 times out of 10 at one of my many theaters to choose from can find a good seat up to the last minute. And so I was like, well, I got to see this opening night. And the only way we're going to do this is you got to hang with the big dogs. There is a midnight showing that still has some really good seats, but it's at the big theater that's about 30 plus minutes away. And she was like, nah, I'm good. Midnight? Nah. Now, myself, hey, your boy can do some late night movies, as I've shown when I went to go see The Odyssey at I think, what was it, 11 something p.m. and walked out the theater at 2 a.m. So yeah, your boy can do the late movies, but my wife, she can't hang with it. But so she was like, nope, I'll catch the next one. So your boy secured the ticket for opening night, so I'll be there that Thursday night. Very excited. And then of course they showed, whoops, they showed the new a new trailer for Doomsday as well. And at first I was like, no, I don't really need to see it, but everybody was talking about it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. Man, I don't watch that thing probably like a 10 smooth times. Like, yeah, I don't need to talk about it, man. Just know I've seen that trailer so many times, and it solidified. Like, yeah, I need to be there opening night because I can only imagine the amount of spoilers that's gonna be hitting the timeline. Because I imagine if some people ain't gonna be made some characters not surviving this movie. The way Doom was talking in that trailer, I'm like, yeah, some of y'all ain't making it about everybody. So very very exciting. And along with that, also at D23, uh, we got a lot of casting and dates and stuff for some stuff. So quickly, I'm gonna mention they showed finally Vision Quest. After all these years after WandaVision, we're finally getting Vision Quest. It's coming out October 14th, so right around the corner, a couple months away. So very excited for that. And the big one, X-Men, coming May 5th, 2028. Which, of course, when I saw May 2028, my heart, because my older three are gonna be graduating a few weeks after that, man. So this might be my last father kids go to the movies together. As far as like them being in high school moment and stuff. So, but yeah, 5/5/2028, man. And we got a few cast members. So Christopher Abbott as Professor X, Kit Connor as Cyclops. Obviously, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, as we'll talk about a little bit when I touch on Spider Man. Indy Navarrete as Rogue, who was the young lady that was in Obsession. Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister, and Maya Boyd as Storm. So yeah, so very very awesome to get these casting announcements and stuff for these new people and stuff. So yeah, so new generation X-Men coming in a couple of years. And also with that being said, so 2028 looking very good for some of us comic book movie fans because we got X-Men coming out in May. Ghost Rider, we don't have a date, but it's a Ghost Rider movie sometime in 2028. Black Panther 3 coming in December. And then also somewhere in there too, we have the Batman 2 coming out that year as well. So yeah, so lots of cool stuff coming up um, in the coming years and stuff. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and transition into talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, I've seen the movie twice. Those of y'all that follow me on socials on my Instagram saw pictures of this very dope uh, jersey shirt thing I found at Walmart, $10. It's got Spider-Man, just says the word Spider-Man Brand New Day on the front. And then on the back, it's got the Parker last name with the 62 for the year the series, Spider-Man first started. Uh, Nice little Spider-Man logo at the bottom. And me and my daughter, one of my daughters got matching jerseys. Cause so opening day, so I went that first Friday to the freaking big Dolby Theater near my job. Left did a half day that Friday. Went to a nice 3 p.m. showing. Got in that theater nice and early, and man, it was a fun time. Except parents, stop bringing your small children to the movie theaters, especially on opening day, man. Like, if it's been some weeks and it's middle of the day or whatever, I still wouldn't like it, but it's like, hey, whatever. But opening day, so I'm sitting maybe fourth row, I think, whatever, and they were in like second row. Like they had two small kids. The smallest one was maybe 2, 3 years old, and then the other kid was maybe 6 or 7 years old. Kid was loud at first. Before I get into the movie, sorry, I gotta vent for a second. Kid was loud. Parent left out with the baby at first. I'm like, okay, cool. Then came back. Kid was quiet for a while. Then kid was just loud, and the parents just letting the kid just walk up and down the aisle. Sorry, bumped my mic. Up and down the aisle for like the back half of the movie, and it's like not even trying to be like, hey babe, come sit down or whatever. Nope, they just letting the kid just walk up and down the aisle talking. Had the other kid going and retrieving the smaller one every now and then, bringing her back. But it's like, come on, man, like like that moment alone was why I'm like, for one, the movie was already great, so I was excited to go watch it again. But that was another reason. It was like, yeah, I got it because it happened during a crucial moment, which I'll talk on in a little bit. So yeah. So speaking to the movie itself, like I said, saw it twice. Saw it that Friday, and then went back. I think it was Sunday. Took my daughter and one of her friends to go see it. We all had on the matching shirts and stuff. Uh, but man, this movie was so cool, so fun. Uh, yeah, and it was a prime example, just like a lot of this stuff nowadays, where I'm glad I don't watch a bunch of trailers and stuff beforehand. Like I'll probably watch like maybe like the teaser and then like the very first actual trailer for some stuff. And even then, depending on what it is, I might only watch a little bit and be like, all right, I'm good. Cause man, like I saw after I watched the movie, I went back and looked at some of those later trailers and I'm like, yeah, y'all showed too much, man. So in general, spoiler free, the movie was freaking great. Um, just so many fun dynamics, kind of getting a little bit more into the headspace of Spider-Man, of the sacrifice of, of what he did before, where everybody had to forget him just kind of being more or less isolated for these last handful of years, and the mental impact that has on him. And so yeah, it was like just an overall really dope movie. I loved a lot of the interactions between him and some of the other characters, and just the stuff it sets up for stuff going forward. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Now let's dive into some spoilers. I loved Spider-Man and Punisher, all the interactions and stuff throughout the movie. Was super dope, super fun to see. Spider-Man versus Hulk. Love that whole sequence, especially when the inhibitor wore off and Hulk just like really got really big, and they were just going at it and stuff. Uh, of course, the interactions with freaking Jean Grey and Spider Man, and like that was a pretty dope reveal. Though I had it mildly spoiled by somebody on Twitter earlier that day, or whatever. Just tweeted out just simply the words Jean Grey, and I was like, in my brain, I was like, okay, I guess she's gonna be in the movie or whatever. Now, of course, I didn't immediately put it together at first, but eventually, when the name was revealed, I was like, okay, that's what the tweet was from. But I really liked this kind of being the opening of the door for the X-Men stuff into the MCU in a different way. Obviously, yes, Professor X and Magneto have already been semi-introduced into it for a little bit, and of course Wolverine, but them going full on with the rest of a lot more of the characters, I should say, whatever, uh, was really cool to see. And shout out to what's his name, Tremel, the guy who plays Milchek on Severance, like seeing him being a antagonist in Spider-Man and stuff was really cool to see. And yeah, yeah, man, just and of course like the heartbreak moments between Spider-Man and MJ throughout the movie, all the interactions and stuff, and I think like the fact that they are now married in real life, and like they had like the flashback sequences to the past movies and stuff when they were younger and meeting each other and different stuff like that along the way. It just made it hit that much harder. Um, and she did fantastic with like the sinister moments where it was like, oh, it's not really her, it's Jean controlling, mind controlling her, and different stuff like that. And then of course like the big tearjerker moment for me at the end was Spider-Man sneak at the hospital where Punisher has the mask on for pretending to be him in the window to distract everybody and stuff. But just seeing the love and appreciation that the people and the crowd and stuff had for him, man, it really hit just because I was thinking about, I'm like, it's kind of like the definition of a lot of times we don't realize or truly understand, regardless of who we are or what our impact or what our supposed role is in the lives and people in our family, work, whatever the case may be, whatever, until a situation happens and you get to see and hear a genuine thanks and I appreciate you, I love you, and things like that. And that's truly what that moment was, him walking around the crowd and everybody cheering Spider-Man, 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 and him just soaking it all in and stuff, and the little kid moment and stuff. Yeah, man, just really dope stuff, man. Uh, but yeah, like I said, loved it. Like I said, and I'm happy I got to share that moment with my daughter and her friend as well. Pretty much everybody in my house, except for obviously my youngest and one of my daughters, got to see it. Cause my oldest son, he went opening night with his friends and stuff. My middle son, him and his little group of friends, they just went and saw it a few days ago. I think it might have been day before school started, maybe. Yeah. A couple days before school started, they went to go see it. So yeah, so everybody enjoyed it and stuff. So, but yeah, so shout out to Spider Man, brand new day. Alrighty, let's see. Uh, do. Ooh, okay. Avatar Aang movie. So I managed to hold out. I didn't watch any of the leaks or bootleg or nothing like that or whatever. I just watched it. when they put it on Paramount Plus. And this movie, man, like it really, really reminded me, which I've always known how much I loved the Avatar Last Airbender series. You know, it's one that I hold near and dear, and it's one that I have very strong connection with my nieces and nephews, my sister's kids and stuff, because we all watched it growing up. Because it came out around the time, I believe, that I was living with them. Avatar Last Airbender. Let me look at the dates for this again. Okay, no. Okay, so it came out. Okay, 2005 to 2008. So, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I was still in high school during the original run. That's what it was. I was still in high school, and they were little kids, but we watched it and stuff together. Anytime they either came over to my house or I went over to my sister's house, and I was watching stuff with them. So okay, so yeah, so that was when I was in high school, and they were little bitty kids. And then let's see, Cora. Okay, yep, 2012, 2014. Yep, that is the window. Yep, April 2012. Yep, I literally just left college and moved in with my sister. So, yep. So, yeah, strong ties and connections with them on that. But yeah, so watching Avatar Aang and just out the gate, it was just really cool just to be back in that world, see these characters I grew up loving. Again, going on a new adventure, tackling a new threat. Like honestly, I wish it was a little bit longer because yes, some stuff did feel a little bit faster paced because hey, hour and a half, we got to get through the stuff, whatever. But I still enjoyed it for what it was, and I'm excited for the new series that is coming out. What is it? Avatar Seven Havens. It's going to be coming out October 9th. So, so that and uh, what's it called? Vision Quest gonna be coming on around the same time. So so it's already been ordered for 2 seasons, 13 episodes each. So all right, so I'm down, but yeah, I'm down to give it a try. So because like I said, I really enjoy this world, and man, seeing Avatar Sonam and how dope she looked, her character design and stuff, and getting ancient history on the air nomads and how their society and like this golden era of airbenders and stuff was back during her time and stuff. So was just really cool to see and to experience. Um, but yeah, so overall, like I said, just really enjoyed the movie a good amount. So like I said, looking forward to the next series. All right, so next up, let's see, Avatar Aang. Um, all right, my current obsession because since I had got Paramount Plus to watch Avatar Aang, a show that I've heard about a little bit here and there over the years, but had never watched or really looked too much into it or whatever. But decided to finally give it a chance because it's on Paramount Plus. Lioness. Now, Lioness is a kind of like an action spy thriller series starring Miss Zoe Saldana. Love her. uh, and so season 3 just started a few weeks ago. And so, okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, okay. It started in 2023, so it's only been around for a few years. But yeah, so spy thriller that follows the leader of a CIA team that enlists female operatives who are known as Lioness to go undercover in the war on terror. So this show really dope, but some very tense moments too, man, because they do not hold back on the brutality and stuff, and some of the situations that her crew get put in, like, is very crazy. So I'm already on season 3. Like I literally started this maybe a week ago. I'm already on season 3, man. Like I flew through season 1, flew through season 2 within a couple more days, And at first I was like, you know what, season 3 just started. There's only 3 episodes out. I'm a chill. I'm gonna wait a bit or whatever before I'm gonna let it build up and maybe even wait. Man, I waited a little bit, not even 24 hours, barely 24 hours, and I was like, yeah, I need more. So I already watched 2 episodes of season 3. Haven't watched the third episode yet, but man, yeah, I just really enjoy this show. Like that first season was really strong with them getting this Marine, female Marine, and then her mission of having to get close to the daughter of this basically war tyrant, so to speak, and become friends with her to get close to the dad and all this stuff, whatever. Like that was a really good like storyline with how that was handled and gone through and stuff. Season 2, I still enjoyed it overall, but a lot more messy, not as straight structured as what I liked in the first season or whatever. It was a different amount of chaos with season 2. Another thing with the show that really hits hard is uh, Saldana's character. She's married. She's a mom. She has 2 young daughters, a teenage daughter and a younger daughter. Her husband's a doctor, and so she's always, in and out, gone, can leave at any moment, be deployed anywhere across the world, and, going on very dangerous missions and stuff, and just seeing her navigate the mother and parent side of things was tough at moments because, like, it's like, man, like, I feel the pain. Like, I've never had to do anything of that caliber, but I can just imagine, like I said, just like, being deployed somewhere else and one of your kids gets hurt and, you doing your best to try to deal with it far away and, just all the different dynamics and stuff that comes with the parent side, the marriage side of things, and everything in between. So, but yeah, so Lioness has been one I have, like I said, like really, really enjoyed. And the way season 3 has already kicked off, I'm like, man, like they hit hard out the gate with season 3. So I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. So yeah, so that's Lioness. All right, let's see. Next up, I'm gonna shout out real quick, because it just had a premiere a while ago. Lanterns, episode 1. So far, for the most part, I have generally enjoyed most of the new DCU projects. Let me see what all stuff they have that falls under this so far. The new DCU stuff. Let's see. Superman was good, was really good last year. Supergirl was okay. Clayface, that comes out in October. Let's see. Man of Tomorrow will be next year. Let's see. That's the films. Let's see. TV series. Creature Commandos, I still need to go back and finish that, but I enjoyed what I watched of it. Peacemaker, enjoyed both seasons. Lanterns, okay. So yeah, so not a whole lot out so far, but for the most part, I've enjoyed majority. So live action Green Lantern show, like out the gate, man, like like yeah, it has a couple moments in the beginning of episode 1. The Are You Afraid? And then also the I'll Meet You There. Like yeah, those 2 moments out the gate, man. I was like, okay, I see what type of time y'all are on. But, it has a nice air of mystery along with it, especially with the way episode 1 ended. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm locked in to kind of follow this show. This will be my Sunday night show to watch every week now. But yeah, so like I said, not a whole lot to say, but like I said, I'm interested in seeing how, because it's what Hal Jordan and John Stewart, these two kind of work together, and like I said, especially with how the situation that happens at the end of episode 1. So yeah, so looking forward to that. Another positive experience, Silo season 3. I talked about it before, but like those first few episodes, a little rocky with the whole amnesia stuff, whatever. But lately, these last few episodes have been firing on all cylinders. I am super excited and anxious after this most recent episode to see next episode, which I don't know is next episode. Is next episode the end of the season? Let me see. Silo. Let me see, where are we at? Let's see, season 3 episodes. Oh, let's see, we're getting close. Let's see, season 3. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, episode 7 was just last week. 8, 9. Okay, we got 3 more episodes to go. So September 4th is the last. Okay, so three more episodes to go. So yeah. So I'm eager to continue watching it and yeah, seeing where Silo goes. Cause yeah, this most recent episode with Lucas, Kyle, and the other dude, and their little adventure that they went out on, and the tension between Sims and his wife, and yeah, so lots of good stuff happening in Silo. Last show I'm gonna touch on very briefly is House of Dragons. Man, like I don't know, like I need to go back and rewatch this season finale because I watched it when I was very tired last Sunday, and I ended up dozing off, waking up to seeing Damon getting the mess beaten out of him. I'm like, whoa, what happened? And yeah, I think I rewound it, watched some more of it, but it I don't know, it just didn't have that typical what we used to get in some past Game of Thrones or even like the first House of Dragons season finale, boom, like moments. It was just kind of like, yeah, it just kind of just like a whimper, and it didn't really have seemingly like that big impact moment and stuff. So yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and rewatch fully that last episode, but yeah, this season overall just eh. What didn't really do too much for me overall, just being honest. So, but yeah, so I think that's it as far as shows and stuff. Um, yeah, I don't have much to say. Um, Anime wise, I don't believe. Um, yeah, let me look at my list. Yeah, because I really hadn't been keeping up with too much stuff. I was mainly just like Jobless, Clevitas, Witch in Mongolia, Hell Mode. I caught up on The Oblivious Saint. Let me see. Is it Tower? Tomb Raider King. But yeah, ain't too much to talk about anime wise. Manga wise, I finally freaking caught up on what's it called? On One Piece, man. Like I hadn't read One Piece since like April, like late April, early May. So it was like chapter 1182 was the last One Piece chapter I read, and so I read from 1182 to 1190, the most recent chapter. Man, that was a good stretch of chapters to get to binge read, man. Because mild spoilers for One Piece, but like One Piece manga specifically, but like getting a second flashback for Brook. So kind of like how back in Whole Cake Island and stuff, where we got another flashback for Sanji, even further than the Baratie stuff when he was a kid, his home life and stuff. We got a similar thing with Brook, like his uh, country he grew up in and came up with and stuff, um, and everything with that to the fall of the kingdom and everything in between. So that was very cool to get a glimpse of more backstory on Brook, and then now back in present day with Luffy versus Emu, and Gabon stepping in to the fight and stuff, and yeah, so just some really cool, really exciting stuff happening with One Piece, and I also caught up on Spy Family. So Same thing. Hadn't read Spy Family in a while, but Spy Family don't put out chapters that often anyway. So I really only was, let's see, one, two, three, four, only 5 chapters behind. So, because the last chapter I read was Lloyd was at the kind of like house party for Yuri and his agent coworkers and stuff. And so yeah, so the first couple of chapters was Lloyd and Yuri, getting away from that or whatever. Then Lloyd getting sick, going to the hospital, and this stretch of chapters was the good stuff because we had this big mysterious meeting between Desmond and this other doctor dude or former doctor director dude or whatever that the old neighbor had mentioned before and stuff. And so kind of seeing Fiona and Anya trying to gather intel and stuff and seeing Anya's powers kind of expand a bit with what she was trying to do to get some more information and kind of like the little cliffhanger of her remembering some words that she heard from one of the other people in the area. So just some positive forward momentum for Spy Family because I know it kind of comes and goes in bits and spurts where we get some really good and juicy backstory, character development stuff, whatever. So yeah, but yeah. So aside from that, like I mentioned before, trying to get in the swing of things again. With One Piece like that and Spy Family, those were the first manga I've read in probably literally a couple of months now. Because I finally hit publish on the freaking full night manga discussion I did freaking back in June before they even officially shut off the anime. So I'm gonna get the couple episodes of that I've recorded, put out over the couple of coming weeks and stuff. And I got some other manga that I've been sitting on and excited to finally talk about, review and stuff that I want to kind of start knocking out and getting to over time. But I'm trying to develop a more steady, regular a cadence with my stuff. Once again, shout out to people that have enjoyed the short form stuff, the YouTube short, the TikTok, all that stuff. I've been doing like the short reviews for movies and shows and different stuff I've done lately. Um, but yeah, so we're like I said, school's back in session. Like I said, trying to do more podcast episodes and stuff. Now that the schedules and stuff have kind of chilled out a little bit. So, cause yeah, man, cause like the weekend before school started, that Saturday, all 4 of my older kids all had tournaments in the same weekend. Thankfully, they were all at the same place, but all 4 of them had a minimum of 3 games Saturday. So it was a pretty long day, pretty busy and stuff. So, but yeah, so with that being said, like I said, being back in school and like I said, having a little bit more structure or trying to get a little bit more structure in the day to day with the family and stuff. So I have some ideas and stuff that of some podcast stuff I wanted to do with some guests. I've already talked to one of my homies of a fun idea, fun discussion for fellow parents and stuff out there that I think would be very cool to touch on. So hopefully, in the coming weeks, I can try to get something scheduled with that person and get that put up for y'all. But yeah, we're rolling into the fall time and lots of dope stuff, game wise, TV show wise, movie wise, coming up. Obviously December at the end of the year, the big ones, Avengers Doomsday and Doom 3, GTA 6 looming on the horizon, uh, Wolverine game. They announced a complete edition for Ghost of Yote with the new expansion coming in beginning of October, but get to that when I can get to it. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff on the horizon for everybody. Like I said, movies, TV shows, games. Uh, like I said, some cool manga stuff coming up. But yeah, so I'm excited for what's on the horizon. But I always appreciate y'all sticking with your boy and tuning in to me and stuff. So but yeah, so we'll see how things go in the coming weeks. Because let's see, today is August 16th. So so a couple weeks left in the month. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get some stuff scheduled soon. So, but yeah, so that's gonna do it for this nice, compact, under an hour episode. Talked about a lot, and I think that's all I want to touch on today. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and or listening. You can find me everywhere at Lioness Talk, and as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, TV shows, some movies, and of course, play some video games and live your best life. And with that, happy back to school to all the parents out there. Let me know how y'all's back to school seasons has gone. And I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace. Oh, it's time for a brand new day. Bye, y'all.